Hey everyone, I am back. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. I hope that you've had a great week. For those of you who tune in every single Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here live on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live, welcome on back. For those of you who are brand new to Mental Health Moment, we are here live every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. And for those of you who are tuning in to the replay on Dr. Nikisha Hammond YouTube, be sure to like this video, share this video, and subscribe to the page. So for those of you who have been tuning in for the last couple of weeks, I cannot believe it. We're in the last week of May, which is crazy. Mental Health Awareness Month. So I have our last guest for this month of Save the Best for Last, right? But an amazing guest. I've talked about her before, Dr. Ann Hester. I'm going to introduce her to you all. But first, welcome to Mental Health Moment. How are you doing?
I am too blessed to complain. How are you?
I love it. I love it. I'm amazing. Thank you. Hi, for those of you who are starting to join here, thanks for joining here. Dr. Hammond here with your Mental Health Moment. Today we have the amazing Dr. Ann Hester. She is a double board certified physician in internal medicine and lifestyle medicine, a speaker, an author, and creator of a suite of AI powered health coaching apps designed to help people optimize their health through evidence based lifestyle medicine strategies. She's also very passionate about empowering individuals with practical tools to help prevent, treat, and potentially reverse many chronic diseases while improving vitality, longevity, and overall well being, which is amazing. So, welcome again. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
And for those of you who are just now tuning in, let us know where you are tuning in from in the chat. I reside, for those of you who are new to Mental Health Moment, I reside in the Tampa Bay area of Florida. And Dr. Hester, where do you reside?
I'm in Metro DC. I'm between Baltimore and Washington, DC.
Nice, very nice. So both on the East Coast here,
Yes.
different parts, but all good. And thanks again for being here with us. So a lot of times on Mental Health Moment, we're talking about burnout a lot because it's a real thing, right? That happens to many of us. But I'm so curious, just from your, physician's perspective, like people, a lot of times when they think of burnout, they think of it as just I'm so stressed out. But what really is happening in the body? Like when when someone is really chronically burnt out, how do you describe that? What's happening in their body?
Well, look at it this way. Think about your car. So imagine just redlining for a long time, and your body and the car are similar. The car is going to break down. If you put the accelerator down and you keep it down, over time, you're going to be in trouble. You have it in park, but you just floor the accelerator. That is like burnout. If you're tired, you get a good night's sleep. The next day you wake up, you're refreshed, you're ready to go. If you're burnt out, you get a good night's sleep, you wake up, and you're still tired. There is a physiologic basis for that. So, for instance, when you are burnt out and you're tired, your hormones start fluctuating. You have what we call the autonomic, or like the automatic nervous system, that you don't really think about. It impacts your breathing. You don't think to breathe, you just breathe. It impacts your heart. You don't think to have your heartbeat, it just happens. So you have one arm, the parasympathetic system, that calms you down, and the other is the sympathetic nervous system that revs you up. And when you are burnt out chronically, your arm that calms you down is suppressed, and the arm that revs you up, it's like it's on high. So it's like you're on go, and that may become your new norm. And what can happen over time, it can do so much to your body. And I'm going to start at the top, your
Yeah.
brain. Chronic stress can actually shrink major parts of your brain. This is not just, I haven't slept well, I'm going to go to bed, wake up refreshed. They've done MRI studies, and they found that after chronic stress, the prefrontal cortex, which is like the CO of the brain, the higher cortical functions, is smaller. The hippocampus that deals with your memory, remembering those passwords, is smaller. The amygdala, the part of the brain that deals with your anxiety and your emotions, that's bigger. And so chronic stress does so much, and there is so much going on, and that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, that's good. And thank you for sharing that with us because I think a lot of people, we sort of forget, especially when we're stressed out. It's hard sometimes to remember just all the parts of our body. Obviously, we talk on mental health moment about mental health, but
Mhm.
your mental health also affects your physical health and vice versa, right?
Absolutely.
So I appreciate you sharing that. It literally, you all, it like Dr. Hester was just sharing, this is physically affecting you, like your body and your brain, right?
Yes.
Which is insane. I wonder though, because again, it's easy, like I was saying before, it's really easy for people to gloss over, right? Sometimes we miss some of the symptoms of burnout. Is there anything that you've seen that people tend to gloss over or just maybe not pay as much attention to when they're burnt out that they should be paying attention to, that's a big warning sign for them?
Well, there are a lot. There are
Yeah.
some signs, even something like ringing in the ears, what we call
Ooh.
tinnitus. You might be physically tired, but emotionally wired. You're exhausted, that you just feel like this engine keeps revving up inside of you. You may be jittery, you may be irritable, you may overreact. Somebody says something small, and you blow it out of proportion. Because remember what I was talking about is that part of the nervous system that is on, that may be your new norm. And so
Mm.
you may overreact to things. So your emotions can go in flux. You may have muscle spasms. You may get tired by doing nothing. You may wake up after a long night's sleep tired. You can have chronic infections. You could have wounds that just don't seem to heal because your immune system is suppressed with all the stress. So you don't understand why that little bitty cut, it just is not getting any better. That
Yeah.
might be why. And so you could have twitching of the muscles, like the eyes. You
Wow.
can have body aches. Your muscles can go into spasm because you're always on. You can have headaches. So there are a lot of like non-specific sort of findings. I'm not going to worry about this. Oh, that's nothing. But the difference between burnout and I'm just tired is, again, you go on vacation, you rest, you still have the same symptoms.
Ooh, that's
A good
good.
night's sleep does not fix burnout.
That's good. That's good. I like that. And you know what? I'm glad you brought that up because I actually get that question quite a lot too of like, when do you know if it's burnout? But that's a really good point because if you're just a little tired, like you said, you take a quick nap or you might get a good night's sleep and you're like, I feel better. That wasn't burnout, like you said. But it's when you are getting the good night rest, maybe it's a couple nights in a row and you're still exhausted, or you're going on the vacation, taking the
Mhm.
downtime and you're still exhausted, or you're still, the fatigue physically or mentally. That's really good. Thank you for differentiating that for us.
My pleasure.
Let's see who's here today. So North Virginia's in the house. Welcome. Someone else from Virginia Beach is in the house. Someone else. Okay, this is a lot, a lot of people. Another person from Virginia. Welcome back. A lot of people here from Virginia. Let us know where you're tuning in from today in the chat. If you're just tuning in right now, I have the amazing Dr. Ann Hester with us. She is sharing with us gems when it comes to understanding physically also what is happening with you when it comes to burnout, right? And how can we right? We're going to talk about that coming up, but how can we be better and sort of deal with the burnout that all of us at some point go through? But
Mhm.
we want to make sure what she's talked about earlier, recognizing some of the signs, recognizing some of the symptoms of burnout. Also, by the way, you all, if you came in late to this awesome information, you can always tune in to the replays of Mental Health Moment on Dr. Nikisha Hammond YouTube page. They're all on there. You can tune in. Just find the one with Dr. Ann Hester because she has a lot more great information to share. But you can always tune into the replay on there. Louisiana's in the house as well. Thanks so much for joining here. Dr. Hammond here with Dr. Hester here today. So another thing that I'm curious, and thank you for sharing thus far, some of the things for us to be aware of and some of the
Mhm.
things for us not to gloss over.
Yes.
It seems like, I don't know about you, but it seems like we live in this world of, sort of go, go, go. There's a huge emphasis on productivity, get to the next project,
Absolutely.
get to the next thing. We talk a lot about work-life balance, all those sorts of things. But I just wonder, what are your thoughts of this culture, if you will, of just a go, go, go at the expense of our mental and physical health to make sure there's high productivity, right? Like where is the balance maybe?
Well, what I think about it is robbing us of years of life.
Ooh.
And let me just do an aside. There was a study by the World Economic Forum a couple of years ago. Women have a global gender health gap. That means that every year we lose trillions of minutes of life
Oh.
and well-being because we're women. Everything from the doctor not diagnosing us on time to the stress that we deal with, to
Mhm.
all the things that's going on in our lives. Think about it, trillions of minutes a year of women around the world just because
Wow.
we have that estrogen thing going on. And so it's very important to realize that yes, we have demands. Yes, we want to climb the ladder. We want to do all of these things. But at what point does it sacrifice our emotional well being, our physical well being, our longevity, time with family? I mean, if you're chronically ill, it's hard to really enjoy life if you're at
Mm.
the doctor's office every other week. And if your kitchen table is like a pharmacy and not a table because you have so many drugs, and then you don't have money to do what you want to do because you're spending it on medicine. And then the medicines have side effects. You end up in the ER. It just keeps going on and on.
Yeah.
And so we need to reset.
Mhm.
The first always is God. You wake up, your feet hit the floor, your knees hit the floor.
Mm.
God is first. And then as you go about your day, you think about what your priorities are and ask yourself, what are my priorities? You know, it's my priority to be a millionaire the next 2 years. It's my priority to enjoy my great grandkids when I'm 80. What is it that matters to you? And when you define your vision, then you act with precision, move forward to what is important to you. And there's so many things that we could do to reset. Something as simple as tapping. I was shocked to find how well this works. But, tapping, it's very simple. You take a couple of fingers, tap here, tap this side of the eyebrow, that side, underneath your nose, underneath your lips, right here. There are other places, but you can do that any place. You can do that in a traffic jam, and you could get blood tests done, and it will show your cortisol level is lower after tapping.
That's
I mean,
cool.
it's free.
Who wants
There's a
lower cortisol? Put yes in the chat. Me, right? All of us. So tapping. So tell us more about tapping because I that's something I haven't shared much on. I don't know if I ever shared. Anyways, on mental health moment. So tell us more about that. That sounds fascinating.
well, tapping is extremely fascinating because we have these energy flows, and this is not, like some woo-woo sort of thing.
Yeah.
There is a physiologic basis for the energy. You walk across a shag carpet with your socks on, you touch something, oh, energy sparks. We have energy currents,
Yeah.
and where you tap, you're stimulating different parts of your body, the nervous system to do different things, and it impacts the energy. But a lot of people remember Rwanda. So they took a team to Rwanda, people who had seen their parents macheted to death. They took them
Mm.
through extensive tapping. And by the end of that, a lot of people, they did not have the PTSD, the post traumatic stress disorder anymore. One individual said, I remember my father being macheted to death, but it
Wow.
doesn't hurt like it used to.
Wow.
They did something similar to some veterans. And I think the statistic is 47% of veterans, after undergoing the tapping, 47% of them that started with PTSD no longer had the clinical signs of PTSD.
Wow.
So this is huge, and
Mhm.
it's absolutely positively free. Do it any place except except a Zoom meeting with your boss or somebody you want to impress. But typically, no matter
Yeah.
what's going on, pick up those fingers and start tapping.
Wow, I love that. I love that. So you guys, yes, give that a try this week. That's your homework.
It's free.
No, but yeah, and like you said, it's something easy to do. It's
Mm,
something quick to do. We
yeah.
talked extensively on Mental Health Moment about things that don't take a whole lot of time, right? Because none of us have well,
Mhm.
many of us don't have multiple hours and hours and hours a day for our self-care and those sorts of things. So just finding the things that take a little less time but still have powerful impact, like you were just describing is I mean, that sounds amazing. And I don't know about you, but I think all of us want to work on reducing the cortisol level in our body. I've been seeing a lot of that actually lately on my Instagram feed. There's like everything, probably because I follow stress management things, but just a lot of ways to lower cortisol, which obviously is beneficial for all of us. So that was cool. Thank you for sharing that
Yeah,
topic. Let
pleasure.
me just look in the comments real quick here. Someone said, "Amen, God first." Someone said they're tuning in from Texas. Welcome. Someone said Matthew 6:13, seek ye first the kingdom. Good evening to you as well. Good evening, friends. Someone said, or I'm just scrolling through from a couple comments back. Everyone is so impatient these days. And someone said, I think
Yes,
we were talking earlier about just climbing that corporate ladder. And she said, a person said, so true in corporate cultures that we just sometimes strive for the next, but then we're neglecting our health, right?
absolutely.
Um, Boston's in the house, Hawaii, Chicago. Welcome, you guys. DC. We got DC in the house. Philly, San Francisco. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. If you're just tuning in, we're talking with the amazing Dr. Ann Hester. Just plenty of great information about how we can help ourselves, right? From a physical standpoint, too, which affects our
Mhm.
mental health
Yeah.
and vice versa. So I wonder, well, someone said, let me see. Hold on. Let me read this comment real quick. Someone said, I agree. I've used alternative healing all my life and caring for yourself any way that works. I've used different types of tapping and healing trauma. Um, and and it does work if the person's ready to let go. That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Um, so also I wanted to ask you about just this idea of rest, right? Because we talk a lot. I think I don't know how long it's been a while that the self-care term has become a buzzword, of course. So we're always hearing about self-care and our need to rest, which I think is a good thing. I'm glad we're hearing about that and not only hustle culture. But I wonder, do you feel like people are really truly resting these days, or is it more they're just kind of scrolling through and they're just so chronically exhausted? What are you seeing?
The latter.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, most people do not get the recommended 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night,
Mm.
and people generally don't realize that you have a cleanup crew. It's called the lymphatic system.
Hmm.
When you go into a deep sleep, it's like the cleanup crew comes with a mop and a sponge and just gets rid of all these toxins around your brain.
Yeah.
When you don't get good sleep, you miss out on that. Something else that's important is so many things act together. For instance, if you don't sleep well, you probably don't have a lot of energy to exercise a lot the next day. And if you don't exercise well, you're going to be more stressed. If you're more stressed, you're not going to sleep as well. So all of these things work together. Another thing with the lack of sleep, your hormones just go out the roof. For instance, the balance between your hunger hormones, the ghrelin, it's like your stomach is growling, is one hormone, and then it's counterbalanced by the leptin. So when your stomach is growling, that hormone is like, I'm hungry. The leptin is like, I'm good, I don't need anything to eat. When you don't sleep, that balance goes off. And so the ghrelin level goes up. So you may wake up, I want all these carbs, quick energy.
Hmm.
End up eating all the wrong things. You end up with worsening health. And all of this stuff is by design. There's so much we could do differently. We're like chemically addicted because we see these commercials. Actually, food scientists know how to create foods with just the right combination of fat, sugar, and salt, and whatever other junk they put in our food these days that will hit the same pleasure centers in the brain as sex and opiates and lovely music. And so there's a chemical addiction that we want more and more. And when we mess with our sleep, we're telling that hunger hormone just to go wild. And the hunger
Wow.
hormone is not going to go wild for kale salad in the morning. It's going to go for all the things that we don't need.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't even know that. So I have been preaching a mental health moment, if y'all have been here, about how important it is for us to get good sleep, like you
Yeah.
mentioned, but I didn't know for one of those reasons about how it's really affecting. are eating and like just like you said, just the hormonal level and just making you maybe crave food that you shouldn't be eating, right, in the first place type of thing. I didn't know that connection, so that's pretty fascinating. And I will say, and I've shared this many a time on Mental Health Moment, but just as a reminder, I totally get it personally and professionally. Like I used to skip out. I'm guilty skip out on the sleep because I was like, "Oh, I have all these things to do," and I thought I was being more productive, and I was barely getting any good sleep, until I had to make a really massive shift and really prioritize sleep. Because like you said, there's just so many benefits, you all, so many benefits as often as you can. Of course, there's times things happen or whatever the case is, but as often as you can, as consistent as you can, making sure to get that good quality sleep because it really does impact your physical health, like you were sharing, and your mental health as well. Um, Let me see. Someone else said, uh, tapping has helped me as well. Cure I think it says cure tapping maybe? But tapping has helped me as well, someone said, great session ever." Thank you. Dr.
Mhm.
Hester is amazing, I would agree.
Yeah.
Someone else said, that people are spend a significant portion of their lives at work. So the environment they work in affects more than productivity. It affects their emotional well-being, confidence, stress levels, relationship energy, and overall quality of life. Absolutely positively agree with that for sure. Um, so I would say also like, what are we've talked a lot about like, some sort of warning signs and what tends to happen in our bodies, but what are some good practical, maybe like just small habits that people can really implement in their day or their week so they can try our best, hopefully, right, to prevent that burnout, physiological burnout or mental burnout. Like what are some tips that you can give us?
I'm so glad you asked that question. So the first thing I would say is fix your diet.
Okay.
So a whole food, plant predominant diet matters. You don't have to be a vegetarian, but if half of your plate is non-starchy vegetables and maybe nuts and seeds and beans and so forth, a quarter of the plate may be something like a sweet potato. And then a quarter of the plate may be a little bit of salmon, chicken breast, things along those lines. That is huge. We've got to get away from ultra processed foods because just think about how many people are getting rich in these industries
Yeah.
when we're eating all the wrong foods. We're getting sicker and sicker and sicker. They're
Yeah.
getting rich. And then Big Pharma comes around and says, "You have diabetes, you have this, I have this drug for you." I don't even want to get started on that. It's
That's
just,
a
it's,
3-hour discussion, right?
I tell you, it's incredible. But a whole food plant-based diet is not just good for you in general. It is the only diet that's been shown to reverse heart disease.
Ooh.
By that, I mean, there was a study that they did, a cardiac catheterization, where they squirted the dye in and they looked at the arteries in the heart. And then they put people on a whole food, plant-based diet, lifestyle medicine. They focused on stress reduction, connections, exercise, and so forth. And the other group was the standard of care, the statins, the aspirin, and so forth, and did not address the lifestyle medicine aspect. They moved forward a few years. They went back and they repeated the test. Those who followed lifestyle medicine, like the whole food plant-based diet, stress reduction, sleep, and all of that, they had less blockage in the arteries. Now imagine
Mm.
these regressing and not progressing. Now, those who are on the expensive drugs and did nothing else, they had worsening heart disease. Now, heart attack is the leading cause of death in America and in most countries. So just imagine you have a diet, you have a lifestyle that can decrease your risk of getting it. And if you have it, it can help reverse it.
Yeah.
And so that same diet is gut friendly. Your gut is where you make most of the serotonin. Now, most people have heard about
Mm.
Prozac and Paxil and all of those drugs. They're selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. All that means is they keep your happy hormone, the serotonin levels high. But if your gut is happy and you're making a lot of serotonin yourself, that is like a natural sort of treatment. So I would
Yeah.
say diet and exercise, stress reduction, and sleep, and also connections. Now we
Mm.
know that when you have that love connection, it could be hugging your beautiful puppy. But when you have that love connection, your body releases a hormone called oxytocin. Now, oxytocin counteracts cortisol. Cortisol is the stress hormone that increases your risk of multiple diseases and it lays down fat all around your belly. And so just having that warmth, that love for someone, people, your animal, your pet fish, whatever you have it,
Mhm.
you're releasing the oxytocin, that's medicine. So all of these things are natural ways to improve your stress, to improve your health, and improve your longevity.
This is so good. I love this. I love
Thank
this. This is so great. This is so great, y'all. So again, so healthy food, healthy diet, of course, tweaking things. And sometimes I know sometimes, well, there's like a gazillion diets out there, right? So it can be overwhelming, especially when we're trying to change eating healthier and that sort of thing. But what would you say about like, let's say maybe we're not judging anyone, this is no judgment zone, but if someone's like, man, I really need to change my diet, but instead of doing like a whole 180, because that can be overwhelming, is
you.
there any like small things that people can start to do maybe
Mhm.
to change their diet for the better?
Habit stacking matters. And what I like to
Ooh,
do is tell people to use SMART goals. A lot of
okay.
people use them for business, but
Yeah.
if you don't know SMART goals, S is specific, M measurable, A achievable, R relevant, T time bound. So let's say that you want to eat more green vegetables. So specifically, you want to eat more kale and you want to measure it. I want to eat a kale salad twice a week. A achievable. The store is down the street. R is relevant. It's extremely relevant to your health because it gives you all these nutrients that supercharge your body. T time bound. Try it for a week. See how you do. Keep going. Get your next SMART goal. So habit snack. You cannot eat a big elephant all at once,
Yeah.
even if you want to eat an elephant. But all joking aside, if you do SMART goals, you do one thing, you master that, you do the next, you do the next. In 6 months, you'll be a brand new person.
I like that. Let me write that in the comments here too. Habit stacking, because I think that's really important, especially if
Mhm.
anyone in the comments like I need to lose some weight or those sorts of things. It's just harder sometimes when you see this big number, if it is a big number versus like you said, the habit stacking, right? Just small steps at a
Absolutely.
time sometimes.
Mhm.
Um, okay, so a couple more questions. And by the way, thanks for all of you who are starting to join here. Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. We are here on a very special mental health awareness month series with the amazing Dr. Ann Hester. I've seen a lot of your comments that you all are loving this, so I'm happy to hear that. If you're just tuning in, Dr. Ann Hester is a double board certified physician in internal medicine and lifestyle medicine. And she's a speaker, she's an author, she's a creator of a whole suite of different tools to help you in this journey. I have about one or two more questions, but before I do that, let everyone know like where can we connect with you? Where's the best place for people to reach out to you and connect with you?
Okay. Well, I have a website. It's called ptrreset.com. P is for prevent, T, treat, R is reverse. So ptrreset.com is my website.
Okay.
You can go there. You can actually take a free course in lifestyle medicine. It's a quickie, but it's a free course. You
Okay.
can learn about the AI powered health apps and a lot of other things. And you can also just fill in the contact form and get in touch with me, and I'd be happy to get back with you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Um, So as we wrap up here, oh, someone said a smart goal is doable. Very, very true. Let me see if there's any other comments. Someone said earlier, thanks for the reminder about tapping. That was earlier. And someone else said meditation is key to healthy living as well. I love that. Thank you all for sharing. And if you have any comments, we're gonna wrap up soon. But if you have any questions, we're gonna wrap up soon. Let me know in the comments. I can actually see the comments today, you all. For those of you who have been here, sometimes technology does what it wants to do. But today I can actually see the your questions and comments. So if you have any questions for Dr. Hester, be sure to put them in the comments here. Um, but I also wanted to ask you, like when we think, especially we talk a lot on mental health moment too about high achievers. Many of us do have that go 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 mentality,
Mhm.
which there's of course positives to being high achievers, but then the drawback sometimes is that we maybe wait until we hit that burnout or wait until we hit that breaking point before we do something. So Why do you think that is, that maybe even high achievers kind of struggle to recognize when burnout is happening?
because they're used to the side of the nervous system that is fight or flight, the sympathetic nervous system. They've been doing this so long, that is their norm.
Ooh.
They operate on that level. And so there's nothing wrong with being, a high achiever. Obviously, we are, and the ladies watching are, I'm sorry, the gentlemen too. So that's okay. But think through how you're going to accomplish all of your goals together. And don't be so focused on, I need to do A, B, C, D, and E in my career and sacrifice how long you live. So let
Mm.
me give you an example. I don't practice clinical medicine anymore. I do administrative medicine and health coaching and course creation and so forth. So I sit at a desk, but you got to get up. You got to get up multiple times a day. Sometimes I get up, I do Tai Chi. I have this sort of platform that I can lift it up, lift my computer up. I stick the treadmill underneath. It's the treadmill that doesn't have the arm, so you can put it any place. And I am typing or talking to another doctor, whatever else. And I'm walking and walking, and then 30 minutes goes by, 45, 60 minutes. The endorphins are going, I'm feeling good. And so when you do that, when you incorporate health into your life, then when it's all said and done, you will have accomplished so much more, because just the exercise alone, the blood flow to your brain makes you more creative. You get more done. You have less stress. You sleep better at nighttime. Your hormone levels don't fluctuate. And so that one simple thing hits so many check marks. So think about how your area is set up. Don't have everything that you need nearby. Get up, go get your water, go do this, go do that. But don't have everything so close by that you just reach all day and you don't get off of that seat. Sitting is the new smoking. Sitting decreases your life expectancy. You can work, you can jog multiple times a week. You have that binge on the weekend or of your Netflix movies, or you're sitting most of the day, your life expectancy still goes down. So keep it moving. Movement is medicine.
Yeah, I love that. And I love that I almost feel like you said, like, you kinda sneak in the exercise a little bit too, which is pretty cool, right? Because sometimes we think we have to, like, it's a I know for a lot of people, we hear the word exercise, like it's a chore, it's something we have to do and have to schedule, versus like what you said, you may be at your desk, but using, something. I mean, there's all sorts of things now, but you can sit at your desk and be like pedaling on the, not the full bicycle, obviously, but just the one with the pedals, or like kind of walking on the treadmill while doing something else, or sort of multitasking when it comes to the movement, right? So that's pretty cool. Or taking those, short breaks, like you said too, which is so important. Someone said, "Good evening from California, Sioux Sun City." I think I said that right. Welcome, welcome. Um, Someone said someone had a question about. They said, let's see, they're visiting the bathroom or toilet, passing urine 5 times a night. It makes me sleepless and anxious just waiting to pass urine. Any suggestions?
The context. You, a 70-year-old man with a prostate problem, or are you a 40-year-old woman who's getting it multiple times at night to urinate without a diagnosis of diabetes? If you're urinating that much at night, see your doctor, make sure it's not your blood sugar. It may be bladder spasms, but that's not normal. So if you're urinating that much, please see your doctor, because it could be a blood sugar issue that's causing you to do that. And certainly that would definitely disrupt your sleep. And that impacts your cortisol, impacts everything, and can make your blood sugar even worse.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for your question there. Um, Also, I wanted to know, from you, what is it that you're working on right now? I know you do a lot of really cool things. So, any current projects you want to share? Any upcoming initiatives that you're excited about?
Well, last month, I launched 8 AI-powered health apps.
Ooh,
They're on the platform called studio.com. If you go to studio.com, just click on health and wellness, and you'll see them. Everything from no diet weight loss app to managing your blood sugar naturally, to mindfulness, patient empowerment, to lower your medical bills, to a lot of things. And so I love the fact that you could couple, I have audio and video lessons on these apps, plus downloadable resources. But the AI health coach is there 24/7. So you wake up at 3 in the morning, hey, this is going on. You plug it in, boom, you got your answer.
Yeah.
And so that is the most exciting thing to me because you can talk to so many people at one time. But if they have a 24/7 health coach in the pocket, they can get the answers anytime they want.
Yeah.
And that is powerful. So that's what I'm most excited about. But I do courses and speaking, but the pgrreset.com has a variety of courses. And so those are the main things I'm doing. I wrote a book a few years ago to empower people. That's on the website as well. The Patient Empowerment 101. So, it's all about helping people. I saw so much growing up. Daddy was the only Black doctor in Evansville, Indiana, when I was growing up. And
Wow.
when he died, they renamed it the C.K. Newsom Community Center. And so
Wow.
that's like my DNA.
Very
When he
cool.
died, the song was, if I can help somebody along the way, Mahalia, my living will not be in vain. And that's what I try to live by every day. If I can help somebody, it was a day that was worth living.
I love that, and thank you for all that you do. I know this is your passion area because you've done so many amazing things, and just like you said, reaching more and more people, which is very powerful. With these tools, because I mean, well, literally, we're talking about our lives on the line, right? Literally, ways to have more longevity, ways to have, like you said, not just longer lives. I mean, there's plenty of research that show we're living longer lives, but like you said, living like more positive well-being and healthier lives too, right? Versus, like you said, having 40 medications on the table unnecessarily, right? Some of them may be unnecessarily, or having so many health ailments that it's hard to function with some of the things that may have been preventable, right? Like that's
Mhm.
a real thing, like making these choices now so that as we grow older, we can live as healthy as possible when we're living these longer lives anyway. So I really appreciate all the work that you're doing here.
Thank you. And you hit on something. You can live long, but it
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily have to be a good life. Health
Yeah.
span, how long you live in health versus lifespan. You can be in a nursing home for 20 years. The lifespan does not equal the health span.
Mm.
And a lot of people aren't aware of this discipline of lifestyle medicine. It is a relatively new medical specialty, but it's sweeping the globe. It's available. People in like 92 countries are practicing lifestyle medicine. And in America, it's the American Board of Lifestyle Medicine, but there are healthcare practitioners around the world practicing this. And the American Medical Association put out a resolution years ago saying doctors need to learn and apply lifestyle medicine because
Mm.
it's based on decades of research on ways to prevent, treat, and potentially reverse diseases naturally. We can put type 2 diabetes into remission in a lot of people, get them off of the insulin, get them off of the pills. People who follow lifestyle medicine, the 6 pillars, they are more likely to live longer and better lives. I mean, decreases your risk of breast cancer. And if you get breast cancer and you follow these pillars, you're likely to live longer, even if it's not curable. I can go on and on.
Wow.
Today, fewer than 0.6% of us physicians around the world are board certified in lifestyle medicine. It's
Wow.
gaining momentum, but people need to understand the light bulb is going off. It's not all about anatomy, physiology. This is the drug for this disease. It's about what we now know can prevent the disease and sometimes turn it around. The thought of
Wow.
turning around type 2 diabetes and getting off of insulin way back when, it was a pipe dream, but it is so real and it's evidence based. And if the AMA stands by it, that says a lot about its credibility.
Yeah. What made you just out of curiosity, what made you decide to go into this area? Because that sounds fascinating to me. I'm like, oh, this is cool. But what made you decide to kind of delve into this area?
So I told you I love helping people. I had a platform called patientworld.net, and it's actually one in one with ptrreset.com now. So you go to either URL and you end up at the same place. But patientworld.net was a platform where I would hire people, hire doctors to explain things to people in basic terms.
Hmm.
heart disease, all of these different things. And I hired one doctor to do a course. And as I sat and I listened to her, I was just like amazed. Like, I've been a doctor
Wow.
for decades. How is it that I had no idea that medical science was this far? We
Wow.
know how to diagnose and give the drug,
Mhm.
but you're telling me that we know how to reverse these diseases? And all this research goes behind this. And once I recorded Dr. Seidelman doing that, I'm like, I can't just settle for this is your diagnosis, this is your drug. I wanted to be part of that. And
Wow.
so I kept learning more and more. And then I just said, look, I'm just going to jump uh, head first into this. And I went back and I did the training and the conferences and sat for the national board examination and I got board certified. And so it all started trying to help people understand their conditions. And then it turned into trying to help people not get those conditions.
I love that. So beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. That's so important. Wow. That's so powerful. It's a lot more powerful than we recognize because we do tend to live in the get sick and then take some medicine or eat right. Like it's like we wait. Same thing with on the mental health side. It's like we burn out and then it's like, what do I do for my stress management instead of like you said, like the preventative work, like which is so
Absolutely.
exciting to me also on the mental health side. But again, on either side for mental health or your physical health, which affects each other, right? Just
Yeah.
really being in that mindset of what can I do to prevent these things from happening. Someone said lifestyle medicine is very popular in Asian cultures. Someone
Mhm.
said, I agree. I'm 100% holistic. I was on 20 different meds, almost died, and now I'm alive and healthy without the 10 plus side effects traditional medicines offer. Wow. That's a powerful story.
Huge. And that's normal. I mean, that is the power of all of these things. God gave us all of this information. We just got so focused on our science that we
Yeah.
kind of forgot what He's given us, the pillars of health.
That's so powerful. Thank you for sharing that too. So as we wrap up here, is there anything else that you want to share with our amazing community? And thank you again. This has been so great. I have been mentally taking some notes too. I'm like, oh, this is so fascinating. But is there anything else that you wanted to share with our community?
Yes, something that's very important. A lot of people throw in the towel. They say, my mom had diabetes, my dad had hypertension, my grandmother had this. There is certainly the chance that a lot of relatives have a condition because they all follow the same lifestyle that put them at risk for
Oh,
uh, the condition. And so there's a field we call epigenetics. So imagine this Sharpie. And so you see a few letters, but most of this is this pink plastic thing. So the bulk of it is what we would call the epigenome. This is your DNA. The little letters, those are the genes. And so based on the lifestyle decisions that you make, how much you move, how much you eat plant-based foods, fruits, vegetables, grains, how much sleep you get, the stress and so forth, it can change. And so we now know that the genes can be turned off or on based on our lifestyle choices. They have studies showing that certain genes are turned on when you do the wrong things
wow.
and turned off when you do the right things. So do not assume I'm going to get it anyway. I may as well enjoy life. You have tremendous power over your health. Step into that power. Do everything that you can for yourself and teach it to other people. There are not enough doctors and nurses to do that. And most doctors, they don't even know lifestyle medicine. And it doesn't cost anything. Understanding these concepts, it doesn't cost you anything, but you can actually live many years longer, have a long health span and not a long lifespan. And you can teach your kids who can teach their kids and their kids. My teenagers know we going to a store, they pick stuff up. Oh, this has chemicals. Mommy won't buy it for us. Isn't that mind?
They learned.
Oh, small. So seriously though, you have so much power over your health. Take that power back.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And thank you for the reminder because I think you're absolutely right that a lot of times it has been so ingrained in us that a certain condition on the mental health side too, but physical health side, mental health side, that like it's hereditary. So
Yes.
it's like sometimes we just latch onto this idea, like fill in the blank, certain condition, it's hereditary. So then we give up, like you said, but it's like, well, no, 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 no. Like you said, this can be preventable. That's pretty cool. You can turn like just the way you live your lifestyle can turn off, right?
Yes,
Like certain
absolutely.
genes.
10%. 10% of what happens is your genes. 90%
That's crazy.
is this big pink glob,
Wow.
it's not just the genes. So you determine if you're gonna turn the genes off or on, just like you turn on the thermostat on the wall. You
That's
make that decision.
crazy. Wow, that is woo, y'all. I hope y'all learned. You are very powerful in your lifestyle and the choices that you make for sure. Someone
Yes.
said, studio.com. Thank you for putting that in the chat. And I do want to apologize to my LinkedIn family. I do not know why, but for some reason, when I put things in the chat, it does not show up on LinkedIn. So I've been putting a lot of things, but I did post it here on the someone's comment that they put the ptrreset.com, which is the website to go to
Mhm.
learn more about Dr. Hester. It just doesn't want to go through over here. Someone said, I'm hoping I'm not the only male. Absolutely not. Everyone is welcome on Mental Health Moment. It is on Black Women Empowered Incorporated, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, of course, but every single person is welcome. So, yes, for the females, males, or whoever wants to join us, we're all good. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, thank you again. Please send some love in the chat for the amazing Dr. Ann Hester, wealth of information. Thank you so much. Again, if you're just tuning in, we're wrapping up here, but be sure to watch this replay. It will be available on Dr. Nikisha Hammond YouTube page. It'll be coming out here soon. The replay of this really,
Mm.
really helpful information. I would highly recommend if you just tune in and you're watching the replay to make sure to grab something to take notes with because it's a lot of good practical information also that you can implement into your life if you're trying to live longer and you're trying to live healthier, which hopefully many of us are trying to do here, right? But thank you so much again. We appreciate, like, really graciously appreciate your time and everything you have shared. And thank
Yeah,
you.
much appreciated. Thank you.
All right, so I will be back, you all, next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here live on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. Be blessed. Have an amazing week, and see you guys next week. Bye,
Bye-bye.
guys.